even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders. Verse 10, and it says, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth,
Right,
that they might be saved.
because they receive not the love of the truth, that they simply might be saved. It's all about the truth. Because they're looking at it like, oh, well, this guy, he's saying it's this, and I know he's right, but I don't really want to accept it because, you know, I'm the big man, you know, I'm the big Zabako, whoever's out there teaching whatever they're teaching. All right? And that's why we're going to be saved. We're going to be saved simply because not ego, not pride, but because we love the truth and that we fear the Heavenly Father to teach the truth. Simply put, that's what the Lord wants. The Lord don't want all of this nonsense.
That should be the most important thing.
Yeah.
Forget everything else. Forget the unity. Forget, you know, how
The
you
Most High
feel.
don't care about no damn unity. What the Lord cares about is getting this correct. It's simply put. That's all a waste of time. That's all, like I said, that's all gimmicks. That's all vanity when you really break it all down, man. Because they're doing it because they want to get their view counts up. They want to get their subscribers up, right? And there's other things that they want. They want to please themselves and please men at the same time. And the Most High ain't dealing with that kind of spirit. The Most High is dealing with souls that are gonna follow Him to the best of their belief. He don't.
Last one. Galatians chapter 4 verse 16.
No, brother, there's no last one, man. You gotta keep bringing the precepts up.
I got two more. Galatians 4:16.
Go on.
Am I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth?
Right, so now we become enemies because we're telling them the truth. And the truth of the matter is that as they know, we're correct. Like the brother is saying, you know, we're not perfect. No one on this earth is perfect, man. But that's why we have to stay with the truth, based on that. Because we're fleshly, we go out. So if we're deviating from the truth, then we're gonna falter. Everyone can falter by falling away from the truth. That's why we stick to the script. But you got guys out there that are acting as though they got it all going on. Their shit don't stink, but it does stink, man. Because you're not teaching the right doctrine. You're going off. All right, go on, bro. Matter of fact, yeah, keep.
Let me start it from the top, just to make sense of it. Colossians 2:4 says, and this I say, lest any man should beguile you with enticing words. For though I be absent in the flesh, yet I am with you in spirit, joying and beholding your order and the steadfastness of your faith in Hamashiach, as ye have therefore received Hamashiach Yahawashi, the Lord. So, let me read that bit again. As ye have therefore received Hamashiach Yahawashi, the Lord, so you walk in Him, rooted and built up in Him.
Right, so what are you going to be rooted and built up in? The truth, the understanding. He's the Word. It says in John 1:1, it says that He is the Word and the Word is as flesh. So He's the example of the Word. So if we're following the Word and applying that which is of the Word to the T-bone, then we're walking according to His will. Thereby, most likely we'll be rooted in if we trust in His Word. Okay? It says they that trust in righteousness shall understand the truth. That's in the Apocrypha. So now it's got me thinking that maybe these guys don't trust the truth. They don't trust the righteousness of the Heavenly Father. They trust something else. As the why they can't come under the correct order of things.
It says, rooted and built up in Him and established in the faith, as ye have been taught, abounding therein with thanksgiving.
As ye were taught, abounding in Him with thanksgiving. All right. Now I'm going to put this out there too, right? Now it's like the apostles have said back in one where certain guys, you know, they didn't break certain things down right. But we all know right now, as even the false guys can see, that the men of great notes don't got it correct. So if we're teaching something, because we're teachers, we're the Lord's teachers right now. Okay? There's certain men of the Lord, there's certain men that are set up that the Most High sit on these streets. And there's certain guys that the Most High ain't dealing with. Just call it for what it is. Right? So as everybody knows, which all of Israel knows that great no still needs to camp, they know this. Right? if you know this, then we have to follow what's being taught. Coming from GMS. So let's read that again.
It says, Colossians 2:7, it says, rooted and built up in him and established in the faith as ye have been taught,
As ye were been taught.
abounding therein with thanksgiving. It says, beware, verse 8, beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Hamashiach.
So let's read that one more time. Let's read that again.
Beware, so like Colossians 2:8, beware lest any man...
There's a song that Big Pun made. It's called Beware.
Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit.
Right. It says beware of men that spoil you through vain philosophy and deceit. You see that? So if you're one of those men,
Vain deceit.
Right.
That makes a complete difference.
right, vain deceit, which is you're teaching things that has no purpose.
To be seen.
To be seen of men, and to also so that you can harness, do that which is what you lust. Okay, that's all vanity. That ain't got nothing to do with anything, man. Go on, bro.
This is after the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Hamashiach.
And not after Mashiach. So they're thinking that they're doing the Lord's will, but they're really not doing the Lord's will because they're doing something else. Because they're going contrary to what the scripture is saying. That's what we're teaching. That's what Great Millstone is simply all about, is doing exactly what the scriptures are saying. Simply put. Anyway, read on.
That's it.
I'm out of precept.
All right.
This is this is Matthew chapter 23, verse 23. It says, "Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For you pay tithes of mint and anise and cumin, and have omitted the weightier matters of the law, judgment, mercy, and faith. These ought ye to have done, and not to leave the other. Ye blind guides."
Right, ye blind guiders, man. So Yahushua called them names. He called them blind guiders. Why were they blind guiders? Because they were misleading the house of Israel from believing in who he was, which he was the Son of Man. He was the King of the Jews. And really the reason why they didn't believe in Yahushua, because the scribes and Pharisees simply feared something else. And that something else that they feared was the losing of their position.
Matthew 23.
So as of right now, there's a different thing that's going about. What these different leaders fear is having their ego violated. And this is why they don't want to subscribe to what we're saying, even though we're correct. Go on.
Ye blind guides, which strain at a gant and swallow a camel. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For you make clean the outside of the cup and the platter, but within they are full of extortion and excess.
That's IUIC to the highest degree. Okay? We all know what the IUIC church is all about, man, within the church. They look nice, the videos is all marveled out, right? But we really understand what this church is all about, man. They're all full of SHIT, you know? So that's just the thing about that. But the point of the matter is that when you got the word of the Heavenly Father, you have to teach, you got to know what you're doing. Because the Most High pretty much simply can destroy you. Later on down the line, man. You might get run over by a car or bus, or, you know, hey, the Most High can take your children, take your wife. The Most High is a terrible power, man. See, a lot of you jakes don't know the fear of the Lord. Well, really, just people in general don't know the fear of the Lord, because people have been taught to believe that God is all love. So there's this God is all love kind of vibe out in the midst of the earth. And this is why people do what they want to do. People commit sodomy. People get involved in all kind of nonsense that destroys themselves in the means, right? Because they simply do not fear the Lord. But the fear of the Lord is going to return back on the earth. Okay? In a big way, man, when the Messiah returns. Because when the Messiah returns, he's coming with vengeance, and he's coming to bring a lot of destruction.
That's right.
And that's when Jacob's going to really get it together. Okay, yeah, so read on, brother. And if certain guys see that a lot of great Millstone members are living in them chariots, then they're gonna realize, oh shit.
And again, verse 24 again, it says, he blind guides which strain it again and swallow a camel, meaning that like stuff that aren't so important, they make it a big deal. But the things that are important, they don't really touch on it. But you can't blame them because they don't know the truth.
Right.
You know, like certain guys debating at what point exactly the Sabbath comes in. But then when you talk about things about prophecy, about the chip and stuff, they don't want to hear about it.
Yeah.
When the scriptures clearly tell us things like the Sabbath, we're rehearsing the righteous acts. And furthermore, it's not that hard to tell when the sun goes down. But that's such a big issue. But when it comes to things like the chip and the mark of the beast and the image of the beast, we're clueless.
Right. Yeah, because going back to what I was saying, these other camps, and I like what these camps are doing, don't get me wrong, I like what they're doing, is they're invoking this idea that we are the Jews, we're the real Israelites. So that's a beautiful thing. But again, what we don't agree with is the way that they're teaching and the way they're going about certain things. Okay? Because they know who got it right and who's correct, but they don't want to fall under the rule of the Heavenly Father. Alright? Anyway, let's read that.
That was what
Let me see what else we can get. We're gonna leave around 15 more minutes. Let me see what else we can get. You give me the verse in the Apocrypha. You got something. Go on.
This is Proverbs 27:5. Open rebuke is better than secret love. That's right.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why for years, we've been getting on these guys, man. Beginning with the apostles, of course. They've been speaking about the IUIC church and other churches back in the day. But we couldn't be bothered because it's like they're going to do what they're going to do. The scripture says in Revelation 20, I believe it's 21 or 22, it says, he that is filthy still, let him be filthy still. So if they want to remain in their filth or in their vomit, then just so be. Because time is running out, man, and this world is getting ready to fall apart.
That's right.
This empire, this kingdom is getting ready to fall apart, but you got Jake out there just carrying on with foolishness, man. And can't seem to discern the signs and times they're living in. So you're going.
And this is Revelation chapter 22, verse 6, and it says, and he said unto me, these sayings are faithful and true, and the Lord power of the holy prophets sent his angel to shew unto his servants the things which must come, which must be shortly done.
Right.
Behold, I come quickly. Blessed is he that keepeth the sayings of the prophecies of this book.
See that? Blessed are they that keep the sayings of the prophecy of this book. So when you're teaching what we're teaching, you're going according to what they're saying in prophecy. The mark of the beast being the microchip, the RFID microchip. Now that's correct. When we're saying the mark of the beast is Christianity, that's incorrect. Because if we, all right, let's just say we all were Christians, which I was a Christian at one time. That means I'm still for death, because I took the mark of the beast. The mark of the beast is Christianity, right? So that means all of us, we're down. Most of the brothers in Great Millstone, or even you guys that are in different camps, you're also damned as well, because you were a Christian. You took the mark of the beast. Come on, man, it don't make no damn sense. And the reason why they can't make sense of it, because they don't know the scriptures. The Spirit of the Lord is simply not rocking with them. All right? So they make up what they think it is. And all they had to do is pray for understanding, pray for the Holy Spirit to be upon them, or just listen to what we have to say, which is very well simple, and do it like that. Okay? But they don't want to do that. Go on, bro.
Let me finish that off in Revelation.
Oh yeah, give me Solomon. Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 9. Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 9. Give me that. Yeah, I had you read something else, man. Yeah. No, it's Wisdom of Solomon. Yeah.
Solomon chapter 2 verse 9, and it says, let none of us go without his part of our voluptuousness. Let us leave tokens of our joyfulness in every place, for this is our portion, and our lot is this.
What verse you in?
Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 9.
Oh, it was 3 and 9, my bad. I didn't even see the 3. I was just looking at this.
Wisdom of Solomon chapter 3 verse 9. They that put their trust in man, so that they that put their trust in him shall understand the truth.
Exactly. Exactly. It says, they that put their trust in him shall understand the truth. So who exemplifies the truth? Who is the truth? We know that it's Yahweh Shai. He's the exemplifier of the truth. So if we put our trust in him rather than our egos and our pride, then we now we'll begin to understand what the truth is all about in totality. Okay, and that's something that the apostles have been doing for years. Okay, going on three and a half decades now. They've been doing this, and this is why breakdowns and different revelations have been occurring or coming out of Great Millstone, beginning with the apostles. Because they simply do this. Let's read that again.
Wisdom of Solomon chapter 3 verse 9. They that put their trust in him shall understand the truth.
Right.
And such as be faithful in love shall abide with him.
And they such as that be faithful in love shall abide in them. What is love? Keeping the commandments. Therefore, you're not going to defraud your brother. You're not going to sleep with your brother's wife. You're not going to do all these different things to have a negative effect on your keep. That's what love is. And the main thing that the Lord wants us to do, which exemplifies his love, is teaching the correct doctrine. What did Yahweh Shai tell Peter? He said, look, if you love me, feed my lambs. He told him 3 times. All right, if you love me, feed my lambs. So what do we to feed the lambs with? What, acidic food? No, we're supposed to feed them with alkaline foods, man. All right? Right. So this truth here will alkaline your spirit, man. Purify your spirit. So that's what this thing is supposed to do. But when you're fusing in something that's not a part of the scripture, all right, or scripture, excuse me, what are you doing? You're perverting the gospel. You're defining and perverting the gospel. Because the gospel is already clean, already. Okay? But when you fuse something else together, you're defining it, man. That's like you eating pork and eating salad.
Right.
You ain't gonna get nothing from that. Go on, bro.
This is Matthew chapter 4 and verse 4. But he answered and he said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God.
Exactly. Beautiful, brother. So that's the bottom line. So it says, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word which proceedeth out of the mouth of the Father. All right? So if we're going to feed the flock with these words, like I said, we can't add or take away. We got to give it to them straight as it is written. So let's read on.
And it says, for grace and mercy is to his saints, and he hath care for his elect.
And he have care for his elect. Who are the elect? Those that were preordained to receive this truth, so that they can be wise unto their salvation. Okay? Alright? And that's why we stand so stiffly for the word, and we keep coming out here week in and week out. And that's why the GMS camp is the most diligent camp out and above all camps.
Right.
Always have been and always will be. Because we simply fear the Lord. And we stick to the script because of that. So really the root thing that a man should do, if he wants to get it all right and correct, the main thing that you gotta have is to fear the Lord. You see, the more you fear the Lord, the more you're gonna stick to the script, man. The less you fear the Lord, the less you're gonna stick to the script. So it got me thinking once again that these guys are not fearing the Lord. They don't fear the Most High.
Can I say something, brother? And actually, to fear the Lord is actually a gift from the Lord. You know what I mean?
That's heavy. That's heavy.
That's the spirit, because it says it was created with the faithful in the womb. So the elect always had that fear from the beginning.
Yeah. And that's why the scriptures emphasize the great importance of fearing the Lord. That's the best thing that a man can do on earth, is simply fear the Lord.
Even it's like John the Baptist, the scripture says the spirit was on him from he was in the womb.
Yeah. Because he had that, there was a certain ingredient that he had, and that spiritual ingredient that he had was the fear of the Lord. So how much do you fear the Lord? That's what everyone should be questioning themselves, man. Do you fear the Lord? How much is your fear of the Most High? Because that's the only thing right there. That's that one little thing right there can change a lot. The fear of the Lord can change a lot. So when we look at all of these other camps, now we can also understand as to why they're doing what they're doing. Because is it the Lord that they fear, or is it something else that they fear? And then we find out mathematically that it is something else that they fear. And what Israel fears the most is having their egos violated, man. They fear being corrected. Right. They fear the fact that they're on top as they feel and believe they are, and someone from the bottom telling them what to do. All right, because see, a lot of these other camps, certain camps think that they're better than us, and they look at us like bottom feeders. So in their mind, it's like, well, who are these GMS niggas? They can't tell us anything. Look at their accounts. They're not organized as they say. We're not organized because we don't look a certain way, and we got low view counts. So that's what they're seeing. Right. But what they don't understand is that the Lord, as they should already know, they know the scriptures, the Lord simply deals with the lowly, man. Let's give me that in Matthew the 5th chapter, brother. Yeah, read that, bro.
This is 2 Ezra 9 and 15. I have said before, and now do speak. I will speak it also hereafter, that there be many more of them which perish than of them which shall be saved.
Yeah, read that one more time.
2 Ezra 9 and 15. I have said before, and now do speak, and will speak it also hereafter, that there be many more of them which perish than of them which shall be saved.
Right.
Like as a wave is greater than a drop.
Exactly. So you're going to have a select remnant of people. A select remnant of people in comparison to the billions of people that's on the face of the earth that's going to be saved. Like as a wave is greater than a drop. So that's why it's very important to simply fear the Lord, because the Lord is capable of doing all kind of hurt to you, man. Later on down the line, whether it's an emotional kind of hurt, whether it's a physical kind of hurt, whatever hurt it is, the Most High can do that to you. The Most High can mess your life up, man. Like people like to say, oh, Satan, it's all Satan because I'm all messed up. No, it ain't got nothing to do with Satan. Satan may be doing it, but Satan is going by the commands.
That's right.
As the scripture says, there's no other God beside me. I heal and I wound. Okay? So the Lord is in charge of every single thing. Good or bad. Go on, bro.
Book of Amos, it says that it shall there be an evil in the city, and I have not done it.
There you go. There you go. So the Most High is calling everything. He's moving everything out there, man, to happen. So this is why the best thing that mankind can do on the face of the earth. And this is why it's good that we went into captivity, so we can figure this shit out.
True.
Okay?
True.
And what we're finding out right now, as I've come to the conclusion of, is that you have to fear the Lord.
Right.
Because if we would have feared the Lord thousands of years ago, we wouldn't be here. Okay, we would be sitting cooling in the kingdom. Girls all over the place. You know, your place, your house is made out of gold, precious stones and the likes. We would be in that kind of a state right now.
Yeah.
But how come we're in this lower state? Because our forefathers simply didn't have to fear the Lord. Okay? So that's what we're learning right now. So this being in this captivity, being in this setup is like a learning curve. We're learning something.
Yeah. It's lucky. I done a video on the tornado in Japan or Tokyo, and I titled it, don't make the Most High angry, you won't like him when he's angry.
Yeah, I didn't see that video actually. Yeah.
So that's the phrase from The Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
But really that should be how we should feel about the Most High.
That's right.
And that's how all the Hebrews should feel about the Most High.
Yeah.
We don't make him angry, man, because as you said about slavery, what happened to us in slavery there, and also the children?
Yeah.
When he made the enemy come against us, he don't care. He just turn his back, and when he turned his back,
He'll turn your
there's
back
nothing
on
you can do to get him to turn around again until the judgment fulfilled.
Exactly, man. And that's why the world is so messed up. That's why people are sick to hell. I mean, you'll find out, right? Pretty much every person you walk, I'll say the majority of the people you walk past are sick. Everyone's sick. You know what it is? Because no one fears the Lord. Okay, and really it's because we're not in power. If we was in power, there wouldn't be no sicknesses. There wouldn't be no air pollution. There wouldn't be none of this nonsense, this bullshit called climate change. All right, the reason why the earth is so jacked up, because you have a group of people that's in power that's wicked. You have a group of people in power, I'm going to correct myself and say it as nice as I can, that's in power, that's naturally wicked.
That's right.
And they're showing us the deal of why it's very important to keep those commandments. Because if you don't keep the commandments, this is the mess you're going to come up with. Go on, bro.
This is Matthew chapter 5, start at 1. It says, "And seeing the multitudes, he went up into a mountain, and when he was set, his disciples came unto him. He opened his mouth and taught them, saying, Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven."
Right, and that's something that a lot of these camps are not realizing. They're looking at us like, oh, these guys, break no stone. It's the worst camp since hell. They're unorganized and they're always cursing people out and all this other stuff. We're supposed to curse you out, man.
That's right.
We're supposed to rebuke you. It says, mark those that go contrary to the doctrine.
Call us Bummerlites.
And they call us Bummerlites as well. But again, as the brother read, concerning the scripture on how the Lord deals with the lowly. Blessed are the poor, for they shall what? Blessed are the meek, for they shall what?
It says, "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven."
Right.
Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted.
Exactly. So it's best to be in a state of mourning now so that you can be comforted later on. You don't want to be comfortable now and then later on you're going to receive punishment. No, man. That's something that Esau's going to have to do, man. You got these guys sitting at the top. You know, you got Edomites that are actually eating out of gold and silverware. Okay, they have these different, secret rich parties. They get together, right, and they talk what they're going to do, what their agenda is. And they're actually eating with golden plates and golden silverware. Yeah?
Which is actually, if I'm correct if I'm wrong, eating with gold and silver is actually beneficial, is it not, to your
Yeah,
it is, yeah.
Gold and silver, yeah.
Yeah.
Good for
It's
you.
beneficial, yeah? But
They're getting it all, man.
yeah, so that's a signification of them being comfortable. All right, if you're able to afford a 700-pound mill,
Yeah.
a 700-pound worth of a mill, you're comfortable. So they're enjoying themselves now, so that later on, because of the works that they've done now in the former age, so that they can be punished later on. So the people that are suffering now, because you got brothers, as we all don't like what we're experiencing in this life, all of us don't like what we're experiencing in this life. Right? We all got ailments, we all got all kind of different things that we have to experience in this life. But all of this is going to lead up to another thing. And it's going to lead us to be sitting comfortable in the kingdom. Okay?
And you know what's going to lead up to, brother?
Yep.
I've been focusing on this picture. Every knee shall bow.
And
Every tongue shall confess that Yahweh Shemashah is Lord.
And you know what as well, since that you said that, the men that's in Yahushua, they're gonna have to bow and reverence us now. You see that? That's just the thing. So it ain't got nothing to do with what your thoughts are and what you want to bring about, right? Serving your own self, trying to please men. That's all vanity, man, because when it's all said and done, when the Messiah returns, and if it be found out that we're right, which everybody knows we're right anyway, right? But the reason why they don't want to accept us as being right because they're egos and because of our presentation, we don't look right according to them. So it's very well that it's in their best interest not to take heed of what we're saying, simply because of the way we probably look. Go on, bro.
Verse 5 says, "Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth."
Beautiful.
Yeah, that's the bottom line. It says, "Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth." What does the word meek mean? The word meek means to be lowly. So who's lowly right now? The nation of Israel. We're the lowly. I'm not talking about them so-called Jews. I'm not talking about the fake Jews in Israel today. I'm not talking about them, because they're not meek. They're running this whole entire system. They're the most protectedest people in society. If you go down to Stamford Hill and you cause some ruckus down there in Stamford Hill, you're going to get arrested quick, fast. All right? So they got it going on. And also, they're getting a large, gigantic welfare check every year. All right? So they're sitting pretty. They're living good. They're not no damn meek, man. The meek people on the earth are those that are at the bottom of this economy, the nation of Israel. All right, and when you look at the Great Millstone Camp, we exemplify mourning and being meek, because we don't go out there with the flashy garments. All right, when you're going out, and there's nothing wrong with having a nice garment. You could have a nice garment, but when you got a camp now, all you see is them flashing their garments and all of this other stuff, and you look good. They wearing what you would call the gay clothing. Then that doesn't show a sign of you mourning. Now, back in the ancient world, the nation of Israel, the way they would mourn is they would put on sackcloth, like what we're wearing sackcloth. In other words, cheap fabric, right? What we're wearing. And also, what you would do back then, you would cast dust upon your head to signify you being in a state of mourning. So we're in the right position. Okay, I don't feel bad being in the position that I'm in, or how people view me. I don't really care, because I know when it's all said and done, I know what results I'm going to get. I know my reward. I see my reward already. You understand? And that's why a lot of you guys can't really, the reason why a lot of you are not following up with the truth, because you don't see the truth. You really don't see it. A lot of guys don't actually view what's ahead of time. Okay? That's why the prophets were known as what? Seers. What does the word seer mean? The seer means someone that is a visionary. All right? They envision things before it already happened. So you have to see this truth live in color, man, in your mind. That's why I don't give a damn what people say about me. Even people can make fun of my eye and all of this other stuff. I don't give a damn about that, man, because I know at the end of the day, the person that made fun of me, and I'm just putting that out there as an example, right? I'm just putting that out there as an example to prove my point. When it's all said and done, people that are making fun of us right now, they're going to be ashamed of themselves in the next world.
Yeah.
Like the saying goes, they that laugh now will cry later.
That's right.
You understand? So that's how I look at everything, man. Go on, bro.
This is the book of Esther, Esther 4:1. When Mordecai perceived all that was done, Mordecai rent his clothes and put on sackcloth with ashes, and went into the midst of the city and cried with a loud and bitter cry.
Yeah, cried loud with a bitter cry. Okay, matter of fact, read that again, brother. I didn't understand what you said.
Sackcloth.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, read that again.
Esther 4:1. When Mordecai perceived all that was done, Mordecai rent his clothes and put on sackcloth with ashes.
Right, he put on sackcloth and ashes. So when you would put the sackcloth on, that was an indication of you mourning. You wasn't wearing no fly-ass garment, because if you was wearing a fly-ass garment, that signified that you was in a state of celebration. You was celebrative. You was in a celebrative mood. But if you're in a state of mourning, you're going to put on what you would call sackcloth, which is the cheapest sort of fabric you can find, or one of the cheapest fabric you can get. Go on, bro.
Isaiah 61:3, to appoint unto them that mourn in Zion, to give unto them beauty for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning, the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness.
Yeah, read that again, bro.
Isaiah 61:3, to appoint unto them that mourn in Zion.
Right, to appoint unto them that mourn in Zion. And that's another thing that a lot of you jakes are not pinpointing, is the fact that we're in a state of mourning right now. So therefore, we don't really got no time to be, or we don't have any space for pride. We got to tuck that pride out of the window and deal with reality as it is.
That's right.
Because a lot of you jakes are not living in no mansions. A lot of you probably living paycheck to paycheck. But you got all of this goddamn pride. Okay, the reality of the matter is that we're the lowly right now. And that's all what we got to play right now. All right? Like Yahweh Shai, because you got a lot of guys, they claim that they believe in Yahweh Shai, but are they really walking according to the rule of Yahweh Shai? No. They're walking in a different way. They're walking in a state of pride. That's why